I've got some good news for you today. You are absolutely unlimited. If you're watching this video, the chances are you already know that we all came from the same source. You came from the same stuff. You are the same infinite, enigmatic being that I am and everybody else is, including the Buddha, Jesus, whoever it is. There is no separation. All separation is an illusion. Now, why do you not feel that way sometimes? It's because of the me. It's because of the little me in your head and in your heart, telling you the story, right? It's always in protection mode. Now, the ego is just looking out for you. It is protecting you, but that's all it ever is. That's all it ever does. You know, it always is going to be looking at everything and everyone else like it's a threat all the time. The ego always fears for its annihilation, and it'll use anything to justify that belief. And let's face it, on planet Earth, sometimes things can get pretty bad. Maybe in your life situation or the world, whatever it is that's going on. Right? And it's going to tell you this story, this narrative all the time, thinking, causing emotion. Right? And that's all the same thing. That's all one thing. The ego, personality, pain body, the identity, entity, right? You're not a two-part being. You're a three-part being, body, mind, soul. But the mind is the one that dominates, or at least it thinks it does. But guys, it's an illusion. It's an illusion. It's not real. You really are infinite. You really are limitless. You are powerful. That's the truth of you. Because the real, actual you is the soul, eternal life, source, pure consciousness, your very life. That's what's real. It's the real, actual you underneath the story and the narrative. The real, actual you. Underneath the talker, the worrier, the protector, right? That little voice, that little me, it doesn't exist. You really have no identity. You do not. You don't have any identity. There is no identity. The true self is just what is. And it's always whole. It's always there. When you do the thing that we call die, that story, that protector, that identity, it's gone, guys. The 9-to-5 job that you're chasing, all the people that you blame for all your problems, all the things you worry about, fucking gone. It's all made up. It's all an illusion, everyone. You're not this entity. You're not this identity. That's not what you are. You are infinite and you are powerful. You have to see past the illusion of self. You have to see past that. Hey, if you're new to my channel, you need to watch a movie. I tell people to watch this movie all the time. If you have never heard me talk about this, the name of the movie is called Samadhi. You can go watch it right now. It's on YouTube for absolutely free. There's 3 parts. Just watch part 1. It's only an hour. It's free. It's on YouTube. It's called Samadhi. There is something deeper than this mental construct of self that keeps talking and going on and on about everything all the time. You are powerful, the self, the true self. And you're so timeless that you are formless. But you know you're real. You can't quite put your finger on what that is. But you know it's there. It's the you. And this isn't self-love. That's not what I'm talking about. That's the entity again. That's the me. That's the identity, right? I need to love myself. Wait a minute. There's not two of you, is there? In that sentence, there's an I and there's a myself. How can you love yourself if you are yourself? You're outside looking at yourself? No, it isn't. You're inside looking out. The mental constructs, the me, the personality, the identity entity is external to you. The real you is timeless, formless, and eternal. It's the no thing. It's the is not. In Hinduism, they say, let's have this conversation. What is the soul? What is the self? Well, it's not a thing, and it's not nothing. It's not full, and it's not empty either. So what is it exactly? What is it? And a Hindu would say, well, technically, as soon as you start having a conversation about it, you're already doing it wrong, because there is no it. And that's what a Hindu would say. A Buddhist would say, no, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Just stop. Just be quiet. And that's all. So who's right, the Hindu or the Buddhist? Well, probably both. At least the Hindu is willing to have a discussion about it. But at the end of the discussion, they point out that there is no it. You can't be destroyed, guys. You are not form. You're not structure, outcomes, situations, beliefs. That's not who you are. You are an eternal essence. You are the same source that everything else came from. There is no you. There is no you. That's a thought. That's an idea. That's a belief. You just are. And that's all. That's all. You can release all baggage, all worries, all the drama. It's all made up. You're making it all up. And I don't care how bad your life seems to be right now. I don't care. You are not those things, guys. There is no thing external to you that is you, including your thoughts and feelings. And I'm not saying that thoughts and feelings are bad or good. I'm just saying that they are not you. You is much deeper. You is something that is so permanent, so timeless, that it can't even be discussed with a Buddhist. Very interesting. Remember that the next time that you start to feel stressed out, the next time you start to worry about something, anything. And by the way, I want to point out, did you know, and of course you did, but I just want to remind you that you have lived forever and that you will live forever. The universe is 13.7 billion years old. 13.7 billion years. That's a long time. The universe sprang from a single point. Some people think it'll expand forever. Some people think it'll come back in on itself. But whatever. How many times has there been a universe? I don't know. Infinity. And you've lived through each and every one of those. And the mind, it starts thinking, wow, that's amazing. He's right. But when did it all start? It never started. It never started. You have always existed. I know, but when was the beginning? Shh. There was no beginning, Mr. Mind. It just is. There was no beginning. You have always existed forever and ever and ever. So please tell me about any one single problem that you're having and how really important and bad and horrible it is. It's really not that bad, guys. After all, this life is ephemeral. It's temporary. And, by the way, if you live through this truth, your situation does get better and you feel better. But don't do it because that's what you're looking to as an outcome. Don't do it because you want that. Do it because you are. And that's all. That's everything. That's one thing. Have a good rest of your week.